So our position as explained in the debates relating to the GST.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sorry to interrupt, but may I offer some advice to Mr. Pereira that perhaps he might like to speak a little bit louder so that the microphones could pick him up for the benefit of all.
Thank you. Yes, I have a very soft voice. Get that from my father. My response to the question is you go back to the debates in this House that we have had about the GST hike from 7% to 9% and the positions we laid out. The position that we have adopted, at least from that time, which I believe was 2018, is that we accept the reality of a GST at 7% because the amount of revenue that is generated by 7% GST is so substantial and has become such a structural part of the government revenue mix that to bring that down to zero would involve too many other trade-offs. So we do accept that the GST at 7% is something that we do not oppose, but we oppose the hike to 8% and 9%. And that was the position that we have conveyed and debated in this House from those debates from 2018. I was there as well until the current time. But I think some of our members may also expand on this subsequently.
Thank you for that clarification. So what is the difference is the 2 percentage point in GST and how you make up for it. And your proposal, amongst other things, is to shift the NIRC, which, as we explained, I think we have a fundamental disagreement on that. But may I say this, Speaker, that we can debate the issues, we can point out where are shades of differences, where are the areas where PAP government say we do this and WP or opposition say let's do a bit more, and where are the areas with fundamental differences. In the end, for this whole system to work, for this House to be a constructive chamber for debate, for us to serve the people well, we have also to decide between us, we have to uphold good politics. What is it that the people really want? What is it that Singaporeans really want? From the ruling party point of view, we say Singapore is a vulnerable, small place. We will have significant challenges. We need strong, competent government, clean integrity with integrity, and able to deliver the goods. And we will have checks and balances, but we need the agility and the strength in order to serve Singapore well. For the opposition in WP, you tell the people, you need a checker against the ruling party. You need a co-driver. Yeah. Somebody need to have checks. There should be checks and balance. What is the best thing for people, for Singaporeans? I say the answer to many Singaporeans is probably both. It's probably both. They want a strong, competent government, but they also believe that power cannot be absolute. There should be checks and balances. And so it is our duty, if we want to serve the people well, to make sure we have good politics between us. What does that mean? For, if I may just offer my view, for the ruling party, it means able to recruit good people, strong integrity, strong government, competent with integrity. In particular, we need to be able to listen to people more, empathize, understand pain points, and able to address them. And where we have to implement policies that are not so popular, that even cause a bit of pain, but for the long-term good of their people, we need to explain sincerely, honestly, why we need to do this. So all this are what, and to also put in place institution system, checks and balance within ourselves, I think is a virtue, is part and parcel of institution building. Then, for the opposition, the main thing you need to do, I think, is to present alternatives so that people have a basis of decision, have a basis to compare. And in doing so, first, got to do homework, put forward proposals that are credible. There's so much data out there, there should be no excuses, there's not enough data. In any case, if you need specific data, can always submit a written question to ask for specific data. And when there are sensitive issues, like 377A, take a stand and not hedge, because it's important. take a clear stand so that the people have a measure of what the party truly stands for. Third, when it comes to alternate proposals, take principled, consistent approach, have consistent considerations. It can't be 2015 you propose zero population growth for foreigners, and then now, when there's not enough workers, now what? It cannot be 2019 housing papers say cut back and don't build too many houses, but now when we are short, you say there's some context, the contexts are different. So you need consistency in your considerations and your policy proposal. And finally, because all opposition always ask the government to do more, you also need to explain how benefits are to be paid. And then applying to all parties, all political parties, we need to ensure our leaders and our representatives carry ourselves out well so that people know that we are people of integrity and honesty, that we have a heart for the people. We are doing this for the people. And then there will be moments of truth when bad things happen, members misbehave, or something illegal got uncovered within the party, how we handle them. These are moments of truth. It gives people a deep evaluation of what is the core of this political party. So this is what I feel all of us need to do to ensure there's good politics that serve the people. We are opposing parties, we are contesting. A lot of words are said, it's part and parcel of political contestation. But in many ways, we are also working together at a time when the political landscape of Singapore is evolving. The people want good, strong government, but yet they want checks and balance and opposition. Every election, they are thinking through what is the equilibrium. And so the situation is evolving. We are contesting, but we are also working together to find the equilibrium for Singapore. I share what I think we need to do to uphold good politics, because then we will serve the people well. Thank you.
Hazel Phua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll just respond on one point that Minister Ong raised earlier and leave my colleague, Mr. Leong, to give a fuller response when he's back in Parliament. And that is the point on the about targeting a particular race. I just want to clarify that we are not targeting any particular case. At the debate, at the motion on foreign talent policy, what we did was to point out that the growth rate of our foreign manpower from a particular nationality is growing at a much faster rate than other nationalities, and that is factual. And so today we have the compass, which includes nationality as one of the criteria. So I think that is recognition that this is a valid concern. So I just want to specify that this is never a matter of race.
Mr. Ong.
Thank you for that clarification. We have always acknowledged the angst and the anxiety of Singaporeans on many issues. But we'll see. Let's see how the debate moves on from henceforth. I just want to remind Mr. Leong and also Ms. Hazel Phua how we raise issues matter a great deal. Many of us MPs, we tend to the ground in our constituencies. There are often neighborly disputes, sometimes disputes between two units with occupants of different ethnicity. So you can have noise, you can have flower pots in my corridor. You can approach it as the problem based on what the problem is. Okay, find a way to remove the flower pot. Or you can approach it with a certain racial undertone. Then you are creating same problem, different ways of approaching, different ways of describing it. The latter can create sworn enemies out of neighbors. So have a care. In Chinese, the saying, 人言可畏. Words can be very scary. So be careful what we say. We need to preserve the harmony that is so hard-fought and hard-earned. Thank you.
Mr. Pereira.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just very briefly to respond to the Minister. So I thank the Minister for acknowledging that, and I fully agree, and I think all of us would agree that at the end of the day, while we may have philosophic differences in the means to achieve the end, we all share the same goal in the end of a stronger Singapore, a better country for all, for future generations. So I thank the Minister for acknowledging that. I just want to make a few points very quickly in response. One is that he talked about the role of the opposition as offering alternative ideas. A few of us spoke about alternative ideas just in the course of this debate and also previous debates. I want to point out that we have offered differentiated policy proposals. In some cases, the government has moved closer to the proposals we've made in the past, in some cases not. But I think that it is clear that we have offered differentiated alternative policies, and I cited a number of examples in my speech. A second point is then on financing. So now that I've clarified that we're talking about assuming that we have 7% GST in the revenue mix, but opposing an increase to 9%, I would point out again that the financing proposals we have put forward in the past, which would generate approximately $3.5 billion in incremental revenue, would address that GST shortfall. It's not that we have not explained it. It's not that we have hidden the trade-offs. It's not that we have no explanation for how to finance that gap. We have explained it multiple times in the past. And the last point I make is on reference to the housing paper that the WP put up in 2019. We did not actually propose a cutback in BTO supply or halting BTO supply. The proposal that we put forward was that BTO supply and construction should continue, but should taper down when flats start to hit year 70, because we had a very specific proposal about what can be done when flats hit year 70, and that's going to happen only in, I think, about 12 years' time. So it was not a call for an immediate cut or any kind of cut in BTO construction at the time. I think I've explained this multiple times, but I just thought that clearly I need to just explain it one last time. Thank you.